We're back. Hello, Wildflowers.
Yes, hello. I love when she says hello, Wildflowers.
Oh,
hello, Wildflowers.
Hello. But
we're all Wildflowers.
Yes,
we are even more so, but that'll be in a minute that
Yes.
we'll find out. But you are.
I am Judy.
I'm Carol.
I'm Peggy.
And
Yes,
we're
and
happy to be here.
yes, number 61.
Yay. Okay. I can't believe we've been doing
And we're not-
60s.
I know.
And we're not bored.
No,
I know.
we have
I'm
so much to
not.
talk about.
I'm very bored. No, I'm not
No,
bored.
We're hoping you're not bored.
Yeah.
So thank you for staying with us.
I
Wow.
just enjoyed
Carol's being very mean to me today,
No,
everyone.
No.
I think I'm missing
Yeah, I
out.
won't
All of
tell
the
you what
ladies are
she
wearing
said.
plaid and I'm not.
Oh, but
You know what?
Yeah.
This was, I didn't have this on. Right before I left, I switched shirts.
Look at that.
There
Well, I
you go.
did red just because it's that time of year.
It's that time
still.
of year. It is.
You know, but Judy, please tell us what's going on with you. I want to know.
Oh, are you talking about my newest?
Yeah, your foster.
My newest foster. So I got a message from this woman who runs a rescue called Peace Love Rescue New York, where I've adopted from my chickens. I've adopted my cat from, and asked if there was a place for an emergency placement for a dog. Now, I haven't fostered dogs before, not because I didn't want to, but because I'm nervous with my dogs. I don't know how they would do. Well, I don't know how Pongo would do, you know. But I said, I don't know. She sent me a picture of this dog, and this dog is so emaciated. She came from the Manhattan ACC. Animal control. She was found under a bridge. She's got open sores all over her body.
I know, so
And, you know, I didn't know what to do, and I just said, here it is as I'm decorating my house for Christmas. What do you say? Like, how could you get in the spirit knowing you say no to somebody who needs you? And so I said yes, and I was supposed to hang out with you ladies on that Friday, but I had to cancel to get things ready. Once I said yes, I got her full bio, and it turned out that what the shelter named her was Wildflower.
I know.
How serendipitous is that? Like, I just love how things...
Yeah, that's crazy.
And anyway, so she arrived. She's so much smaller than I thought. I honestly thought she was going to be a very large dog. Her picture was very
Her
deceiving.
face looked big.
Yeah,
right?
the first picture
it's
that you
not.
sent, she looked like she was going to be a tall, skinny dog.
And I went out and bought her like a sweater and everything. And I bought her like an extra large. She fits a small.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
God.
She's tiny.
Yeah. How much does she weigh?
She arrived weighing about 22 pounds.
Okay.
And she's
That's
gained
like
a couple
Sherlock,
of pounds.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's very tiny. She's got very long legs but small paws.
Yeah.
The sweetest personality ever. And I'm so lucky with her. So, we're still keeping her separate from the other animals because she's got some, issues, with, she's got to get dewormed and all this other stuff. But other than that, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm just pleased, rescue.
They can see her picture on Peace Love.
Peace Love Rescue New York. You can go on Facebook. Her picture and her story is there. You can see her before, and we're posting videos too, and you get current updates. And I want to thank Dr. Crespo in West Islip for working with us with the animal care and the medical care
That's
for that.
important, yeah.
And he's been wonderful, so support him as well. And I'm just we'll see where her journey takes her.
But if you're interested, really get in touch with them because I've seen the videos and I'm just blown away how sweet she is. She should be nasty. She should be.
She should be nasty.
How she was treated.
How she was treated.
They think that she was a bait dog.
They think she was a bait
Look
dog.
that up because when I mentioned that to Jason, my son, he goes, "What's a bait dog?" A lot of people don't even know.
They don't know what they use to
small
fighting
dogs.
dogs. They use small dogs or
to
kittens.
teach the dog. They teach dog fighting to other dogs.
But despite all of that, she's very
horrible.
sweet, and she's just so. All she wants to do is lay next to you, put her head on your lap, and be pet.
Yeah.
That's all she wants to do.
sweet.
She's not hyper.
Yeah.
She's not aggressive. She's very, very sweet. So, I know we're all big animal rescue people, but I can't help enough just say, please, adopt. There's so many wonderful dogs out there in the world.
And this is the time that so many, and I made the mistake many, many, many years ago before I understood about puppy mills, before I understood that I actually went to a pet store and bought a Maltese for a lot of money for Christmas. And then another time, I then went to another pet store and bought Scout and Shiloh, a Cocker Spaniel, and a Beagle. And I would have got a pug if they had one too, because that's what my other daughter wanted.
Yeah.
And now I know. I'm like, I'm upset that I didn't know. But I can't regret what I did.
I only bought one dog that was probably puppy mill because I bought it in a pet store, Bubba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was a chocolate lab. But Millie and Molly we bought from a breeder. It was their first time. They had boxers and they bred them, and then they sold the litter. They lived in Roosevelt.
And that's another thing. Know your breeder if you want to get a, know.
And no, you may not know this because I spoke to somebody recently who is looking for a breed-specific dog, but that there are rescues that take our breed-specific rescues. For example, there's somebody I work with is looking for a golden retriever. Yeah. And he's got one already, would like another one, and I'm like, there are golden retriever rescues, and he's looking now. I put him in touch. I said, here's one. Here's another one. And they get puppies, and if you call them and say you want a puppy, you might have to wait a bit, but they get them. And I know somebody that just happened, where her and her family just got a golden retriever puppy from a rescue. Yeah. It can happen, and if we're more responsible and conscious of what we, where these animals, what they go through. Yep. Maybe we could, make a little difference there.
And people do surrender dogs that are good
Absolutely.
too. It isn't like all these dogs are bad.
No,
sometimes somebody is sick and they can't take care of it, or maybe they're elderly and they didn't realize
an allergy.
That exactly.
And they can't keep
it.
Yeah.
Or somebody in their family, has an allergy. So. Well, don't discount it, and
good point. Absolutely.
And don't breed animals indiscriminately either.
Oh, my goodness.
Please get your animals spayed and
if you're not a breeder, don't breed them.
Right, exactly. Well, I know we always try words. I have a word.
Okay.
I have two words now because I was just thinking of the first word. You probably know this word, penultimate.
Second to last.
Yeah, so this is our penultimate podcast before the new year. We think we might do another one, but I'm not sure.
We're trying to.
Yeah, we'll see.
Schedules are tight.
Right. But the word that I have is called, you ready?
Yes.
Spatchcock. And I got this word.
That sounds like a dirty word.
Actually, my son Jason gave me this word.
I could come up with a lot of definitions.
And I go, what? He goes, yes, spatchcock.
Oh, that goes well with the word I have.
Really? I've never heard this word.
No, I haven't heard yours either.
No, I have never heard of it.
It's a cooking term, and it is a chicken or turkey, some kind of game bird, that's split open and grilled, like you spatchcock.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like butterfly. I would have called that butterfly.
Yep, but it's spatchcock.
I've seen that done, and I'm like, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah. But Jason was telling me about it. I'm like, oh, I gotta read. And I'm like, what was that word you said? I remember the last half. I can't remember the first. So. Yeah, so spatchcock, S-P-A-T-C-H-C-O-C-K.
I guess so, because cocks are poultry.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that goes well with my word, which is coolie.
Oh, C-O-U-L-I-S. Oh, I know what that is.
C-O-U-L-I-S. I know coolies in China, they pull the carts. But
coolie could also be a for your
bum.
bum.
I know this word. But I'm going to be mad when you say it.
Okay, it's also something to do with cooking as well.
Right, that's what I thought.
It's a form of thin sauce made from pureed and strained vegetables or fruits.
Yes.
And you pronounce it coulis or coolie?
Coolie, because I had to look up how it was pronounced.
Coolie.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's coolie.
Oh, so we have cooking terms today.
Oh, I don't have a cooking term.
Oh, but that's okay because we love you. It's not because you're stupid or anything. We love you.
Carol called me stupid before.
She
didn't really call me stupid. She said that's stupid.
That's right.
So now
she did it like with a big mouth. You're stupid.
Yeah, she did.
But I'm
in
joking.
this sacred holiday season, when what brotherly love is in the air.
Sisterly.
And sisterly.
Okay.
Well, anyway, my word is, we probably all know this word. when I saw it, I said, "Oh, I never used that word, salubrious."
Oh, yes.
Salubrious. I don't know that
Cheerful,
one.
happy, or sad, or wait, salubrious. I know this word.
Salubrious,
No.
like sensational or something
No.
like
It
that.
does sound like it should be
Yeah.
that. It's favorable to or promoting health. It's helpful.
Oh, like
So-
salute, almost like we're drinking
Oh,
to your health.
yeah, I
like
guess
that.
so. Yeah,
Salute.
salute is to your health. So salubrious. So I made up a sentence for it. I
Okay.
thought I'll put
Okay.
it in a sentence.
Oh, good. I love
So
when
I
you do
said,
that.
for the new year,
Yes.
I aim to live a more salubrious
Lubrious
lifestyle.
Oh, I like that.
There you are.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? We can start with my turn. Well, actually, I say it's my turn. I'm trying to get this without spilling anything.
That would
with,
be-
yeah, with the
Okay.
wine. But it's actually my daughter, Natasha, picked out the wine.
Oh, thank you.
And I
Natasha.
wasn't allowed to see it, and it's been in my house for a while. And it was very
Oh,
tempting.
so you don't know what it is
No,
either.
I don't know what it
Do
is
we know if
either.
it's a red or a white or
Um,
anything? We'll find out.
We'll find out indeed. So, oh, and also, Judy gave us some wine glasses.
I know. Mine have fish on them.
Mine has a
And I
star.
have Long Island.
Yours has a
says-
star, fish,
fish.
and water and reeds.
But I have
Oh,
the
yes,
whole
it does.
They're
island.
all Long
Long
Island
Island.
themes.
Yes.
Yes, awesome.
It says there's no place like home on
Oh,
mine.
that's
Aw,
very
that's
sweet.
nice.
So that was a nice little surprise. Well,
My
here.
fish are swimming.
All right.
I know. I
in the
love that. So
I do
pretty.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see
I
what
like
color
that
it
that
is.
you can feel the.
It's red.
It's a red. Natasha knows us. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, Peggy.
Oh, it's very purple.
It's purpley.
I'm gonna put my glasses on. See, I'll see what the
Okay.
legs are like.
Oh, it smells good.
Ooh. Okay.
It's dripping, and I gotta put it back down because I don't want.
Spill it
I
in
know.
case we like it and want more.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
When did she give this to you? Do you know?
Well, I was in the store with her. She got this from Stu Leonard's Farmingdale Wines. And I was actually with her, but she made me go hide. Or not hide, but I had to go to the car. And
The legs aren't very light.
no,
It must
Mine
be low
are.
alcohol.
it might be your glass. I don't know.
no, I don't have. I don't have a lot of legs.
I have. You
Oh,
have
yeah,
it.
you have it.
I have
Oh, yeah,
legs.
how
They're
come-
very faint. I can see where it's
Okay.
going, but
All right, let's smell it.
maybe it's the.
And she
the glass.
emailed me tasting notes, and I hope she emailed me the price point too.
I'll
But
look
I'm
it
gonna
up
have to
after this.
text her.
Okay, so shall we drink?
Well,
Or we
let's
will-
We're
toast.
smelling, aren't we smelling?
Oh yes.
good?
All right. Oh yeah. What do you smell?
Okay. Well, it
I have
smells
the worst sense of
spicy.
Me too.
spicy and black fruit.
Okay. I know I have the worst. I can't. My olfactory senses don't work very well. See, that's
Neither
another
does
Mine
one.
work pretty good, but I'm not very good at identifying them yet. But I'm working on it.
I think you're pretty good.
Yeah, but I'm because I'm working on it.
I'm smelling
to me,
some
this is-
apricot.
See, I smell darker fruits, not light
It could be both.
citrusy. I smell
Yeah, the darker.
more like cherries, blackberries.
Okay.
And I smell citrus.
Okay.
See, I
who's
don't.
To, who's to say she's wrong?
That's
We're gonna
right.
find
We
out.
will see.
Yeah. Okay. So
All
should
right.
we toast to Wildflower?
To Wildflower.
Yes, to Wildflower.
Let's
And
hope
happy-
she...
And happy
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah
Happy
to our friends who
Ooh,
celebrate.
Yamaka.
Hanukkah.
All right.
Salud.
Salute.
Salubrious.
Oh my,
Whoa,
this is good.
this is very good.
It's very fruity, but not sweet, very dry.
Right. Yeah. Thank
This
goodness.
is a dry
It's
one.
got a long finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I was nervous it was going to be acidic because I was picking up maybe
That's why I didn't.
yeah, you didn't smell, I was wrong.
Oh my.
Oh, this is very good, Natasha. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. I wish I could call.
Oh my goodness. It's
There's
very
pepper,
full
some
bodied.
pepper in
Yeah, it's
there.
spicy, peppery.
Yeah, this is delicious.
So I say peppery, dark fruit, smooth, full bodied, long finish.
And do you want?
And alcohol content, I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna do 12%.
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't think it has a lot of alcohol in it. I'm going to say
So-
12 and a half.
Are you guessing what kind of wine it is?
Well, it seems like it would be a cab because of the full body, but my palate can't distinguish that. I'm not.
I'm going to say a Merlot.
Could be, but I don't drink Merlot much, so I couldn't identify
I'm not
it.
going to guess because I got to tell you, when I took the cork out, it
You
fell.
saw?
I saw the cork, so I
Okay.
don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to cheat. So.
All right, so
All right. So
It's a heavier wine.
it's
right,
delicious.
the tasting notes: an intense garnet red color with a clear rim. I don't know what that
The
is.
clear rim might mean it was clear
Okay.
when we did the legs.
Outstanding aromatic
Oh, but look, here's
intensity
my
on the
legs.
nose. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look how clear it is.
With
Yeah.
spicy and balsamic licorice,
Ooh.
clove, nutmeg, and black pepper notes, enveloping a subtle hint of bright red fruit,
Oh, okay.
brandied cherry, and raspberry jam.
That's what
Oh,
you
okay.
were saying,
Yeah,
Sherry.
The
yeah.
palate is well balanced, fresh, with a broad range of flavors and soft, round tannins, leading to a spicy balsamic-like aftertaste on the finish.
Delicious.
A Vigna Ardanza in its prime and with a long life ahead of it. So, let me see if I can text her. Let me see. Can I call you? She said she has a very busy day, but let me see.
She's at work.
Yeah, she's at work, and because we're doing this like on a Friday afternoon,
Yeah.
late Friday afternoon. She's got a very high-powered job, so
Yes.
we
So
will
make
see.
sure she puts us on speaker.
Exactly.
This is very good. So now I'm going to change
Yeah,
my
I really
alcohol
love it.
contact. I'm going to say 13 and a half.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
That's
I-
reasonable.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna say that too. How much would you pay for this?
Oh gosh, I'd pay a lot.
I
of money.
would pay $32.99 for this.
Ooh, I like the 99 at it.
I would pay 50.
Whoa.
See, I would never pay $50 for any wine unless I win the lottery. Not because I don't think it would be good. It's just
Yeah.
because I drink
I
it
think
too
it's
fast.
very good.
It's delicious.
Now,
Yeah.
should I
It's
take
definitely
the bottle out?
5 Wildflowers.
Yes, take it out. Let's see, because
All right.
who knows when she'll call back.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll see. Okay, so
What
it
is it?
is.
I don't know this one. What's it called?
It's right.
It's Vina Ardanza
Okay.
Reserva
You want me to look at the price point?
2016.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it so we can figure out the price. Vina.
Ardanza. ARDAN.
ZA. Let me
And
borrow
what
your
kind of
glasses.
wine is it?
I think that's what it is.
Oh,
Well, on the
It's
cork.
a-
Because
a
it says
Rioja.
denomination,
It's a Rioja.
the origin.
It's a
The
Rioja.
Rioja, yes, it's right there.
Oh.
how much did
Oh,
you
it
say,
does.
Peggy?
I said $32.99.
Hey, sorry, I'm
Here-
on a call. Just emailed you the price point.
It says here $39.99.
Wow.
Wait, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the price point. She just
Yeah.
emailed it.
It's
Okay.
delicious. I love a Rioja.
My daughter wants to know if we liked it.
We love it. She could buy us a bottle every
Yeah.
podcast.
We love it, and Peggy said you could buy us a bottle at every podcast.
I want my own bottle, Natasha.
It's 14.5% alcohol.
No.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Okay. I had my first Rioja in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
I
And
love
I
Riojas.
remember sitting there at the bar. It was a gorgeous bar. It was a tapas bar. And he recommended a Rioja. And I hadn't had a Rioja before.
There are white Riojas too. I
I know,
had
this
one the
one
other
wasn't.
night.
It was
Look at your
delicious.
white
It was
wines
delicious.
now. I mean, with the.
I had one the other night. Delicious.
Wow. So this is
Very good. Very good choice.
Yes, we have to. We have to take a picture of the bottle.
We can do that.
Yeah, take a picture definitely because this is one. I'm gonna look and see how much it is on
It's
Total
$39.99.
Wine.
Oh, on Total-
Oh,
on
on
Total
Total
Wine.
Wine. I think
Oh.
that might have been the Total Wine price. Hold
It-
on. It usually comes up.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Oh, no, it didn't. That was wine.com.
Okay, so. All right, and she did send the price point, so what she paid for it. So let me see what she sent. Tick up.
$37.99 at Total Wine.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
so she spent a little bit of money for her mommy and her
you.
friends.
Oh my God, it's
Oh
delicious.
wait, no,
Oh.
she spent $47 on it.
Wow.
So that was close
Shop
to what
at
I
Total
said.
Wine.
Yes.
I had said $50, so I was
Yeah.
kind of close.
So it's nice to have
Thank
a nice
you.
wine.
It is. It's
Absolutely.
Thank
delicious.
you, Natasha.
Yes.
Woohoo! Yes, we enjoy it.
Yeah, the other night I opened up a bottle
I
of
don't want to block you.
Vela Serrano Rioja, but it's a white one.
didn't
I
know
bought it to taste at one of our podcasts, and I said, I want to try it. So I'll buy it again.
Because Rioja
Delicious.
means red. And so that's
Yeah.
what it means in Spanish. And
Yeah.
so that,
Right,
the
right.
fact that it's a white wine.
That's
Well,
crazy.
when we
Called
go to
Rioja.
Hunter, I get a Rioja and it's white.
Oh,
So
really?
they
I would
are
love
red
to
and
try it.
white.
You'll
Yeah.
have- I'm gonna look for that.
Yeah.
I'd like to try a white Rioja. I haven't
Yeah.
tried that. I do enjoy
Yeah,
Rioja.
no,
This
that,
is delicious. Thank
yes.
you very much, Natasha.
Yes,
It's
yes,
very, very good.
we're very happy.
Yes,
Yay.
we are. Yay.
Oh, how
Okay.
many wildflowers?
I already said 5.
Oh, you
Five
did? I
and
didn't
five.
do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
five.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I'll
All
let her
right.
know that it's 5 wildflowers. I was going to say something else too. Now I can't remember. 5 wildflowers.
So who is doing the book, Mike? Shall we?
Oh, I'm doing the book.
Oh, okay.
Because
That's right, we're
everything's
gonna-
being switched around
That's right.
because
And
of my
there's a reason.
subject.
Yeah.
So my book is a nonfiction book, and it's called Buried Long Island.
And this is monumentous because Peggy does not like to read nonfiction.
Right.
I read
Yeah.
nonfiction, but I don't read nonfiction books unless it's like a book like this.
Okay.
So I love cemeteries, and that's what attracted me to this book. The Tiny Raccoon bookstore out in Sayville, I get their newsletter, and he had sent it out, and they were having this author there, but it was on a night that I couldn't go.
Okay.
And anyway, it's pretty far from where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, oh my God, I said, I have to get this book. So I did. I got the book because I love cemeteries, and I will stop at a cemetery on a dime. Oh, look, there's a cemetery.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a morbidity. It's you know, there's history in cemeteries. You know,
Right, yeah.
you know, you look at all those old tombstones and people who died in the 1700s.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
and out on Long Island, there are many old
Old
tombstones out there. So I learned a lot about the different kinds of tombstones in this book because there are a lot of photographs in it. This
Oh,
is from History Press, I think. Oh no, this is a different one. It's America Through Time. I thought it was part of History Press. It may be.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit before we came on, but my daughter Willow is just like you as
Yeah.
well because she loves cemeteries, and whenever we go somewhere, we
Arcadia,
stop.
though.
Oh, it is Arcadia History
Arcadia.
Press.
Okay. Yeah.
They're the same, and they have great books, and they're all written by people who live in these towns, and they write books about the history of the towns.
Nice.
So there's one for pretty much every town on Long Island. I know that. So anyway, there's not much to read. There's a lot of photographs, and they talk about all the stone carvers, and in the 1700s on Long Island. Way out on Long Island, where most of these cemeteries are, like it was sparsely inhabited, and there weren't a lot of businesses. So most of the tombstones were carved in New England, and then they had to, transport them down to Long Island. But an interesting fact, I'm not going to spend a long time on this, but anybody who likes cemeteries, you really need to get this book. You can order it, or you could go to Tiny Raccoon. I'm sure he has
I want to
signed.
go there. Yeah.
He probably has signed copies by the author. So
Let's see.
the earliest tombstones on Long Island, if you look at this, you see the top of this here,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
how it comes up
Oh,
like that. They
I've
were
seen that
very
before, yeah.
decorative. That is called a timpanum.
What is it?
Timpanon.
And willows.
It's sometimes you'll see them. It's like
wow.
a triangular
Oh,
shape
Okay.
on top of a door or on top of a gravestone. You know how it's slanted like that, and you see the skull on it.
Yeah.
This is one of the earliest designs in the United States, because this is pretty typical of the United States
Yeah.
anyway. It was Puritans, because they had such a dark idea of what death was.
That's
So-
so weird. That's so interesting.
Yeah, I know. Well, they were very stern,
Yeah,
and
right,
heaven,
yeah.
hell, and
Yes, right.
like so.
Fire
This
and
was
brimstone. Yeah.
exactly. So they all those old ones in the 1700s. They have the skull on it. They're very dark and scary looking. They're called death's heads. And then the next ones that we have are the soul effigies, and it was like this
Oh.
soul with wings. Because now it's a little bit
Turn
more
into an angel. Maybe.
exactly
Yeah.
like death is like a release.
Right.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and then you go to further on, just the urn on top of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of these cemeteries out there, the gravestones are falling apart, like
Yes.
this one
Yeah.
here.
Can you get the year on that one? Does it say?
It probably does. Do you have your flashlight handy?
I do.
A lot of this one here is probably in the 1800. No, this is 1797,
Wow.
in memory of Belfry, wife of Eliab.
Elijah. Oh,
No.
Oh, yeah.
Eliab Brahm, who died October something 3, 1797, in the 28th year of her age. And
Oh,
it's
she's
really,
young.
Wow.
and oh well, you'd be surprised.
Oh,
There's
I
one
know.
family in here that they lost all of their children, the
To
mother
what?
and father.
Well,
It-
you probably don't know. Right?
Yes, I did know what, but now I forgot.
Can you
'cause
show
I
me the
didn't write
picture of the Willows one?
The Willows.
That was the first one you showed. This one.
Was this one it? Because this
No,
death
this
head
is the
was
death
the
head.
urn, so
Oh,
it
it's-
would be after the urns.
Okay,
that
the
would be-
urn. Urns and willows. So here's an urn.
Urns. Oh, they don't have that.
No, there is. It's in some.
Oh,
of
then
them,
don't
yeah.
worry about it. I was just curious. That one I
Yeah.
hadn't seen.
Okay.
But anyway, what I want to do with this, because there's cemeteries out in Southold, they have these above the ground coffins there. This one is 1671. One of them is the oldest grave. This is it. This says, this box.
It looks like
your blesses. It is
looks
dark
like
in
a
here.
sarcophagus. It doesn't.
The box tomb of William Wills is the oldest grave marker on Long Island. Box tubes are a rarer form of grave marker
Yes.
that was only available to more affluent settlers. The Southold Old Burying Ground still has 9 box tombs.
Wow,
Wait,
that's
somebody's
impressive.
in that? And it's
Yeah,
above
somebody's
ground.
buried
That's
in it,
impressive.
yeah.
But it's above ground.
Yeah, sitting right there on the ground. They're called box tombs.
Wow.
And if you go to New Orleans, though, they have all above ground things because of
Right.
the water table
Oh,
there.
right,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, so here, this one here, aged 10 years, died
I
in
know that. I know that's sad.
1682. I mean, kids died from, God,
Yeah.
high fevers back then,
Yeah,
you know.
no, it's true.
And some of them, like the poorer people, couldn't afford to have it, so they used field stones,
Right.
and like they just carved their own.
Thank you.
So it's
It's so good.
this is a photo of Southampton Cemetery. So anybody who's obsessed with death the way I am, there's so
I'm
many
so
great.
I
get
feel
that
like
one.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you're really obsessed with death.
It's
No,
not.
I'm not.
It's the
I think it's the
history.
history.
It is the history.
That's what Willow is too. You know, it's funny because I don't know if you have to go all the way out to Southampton. To
No,
see
there's
that.
no. The Oyster Bay
Oyster
has,
Bay has
great
some-
There's one on the
Yeah.
way up to Bethpage, the Quaker Cemetery.
There's-
Yes, I passed that
There's
there
one right in
around
my
Swamp
hometown
Road.
of
Yeah.
West Islip as well.
And also
Yeah.
Massapequa has an old
Yeah.
one too.
Have you been to one that you could say it was you really were intrigued by?
Yes.
You have.
Oh, sorry.
No.
You want to go
No,
first?
no, you can go
I just
first.
because whenever we go on
You're like,
vacation,
yes.
if we see an old cemetery, we stop because, like I said, one of my daughters has a really big interest in it. We were up in Vermont, in Woodstock, Vermont, a couple of years ago. Beautiful town, I just love it. And they had an old cemetery, and we pulled over, you know, and
Right.
just everybody wanders around. What was a lot of these old style, very old, you know, but what was kind of made it extra creepy, the majority of them contain the name Vaughn. Spelled
Oh.
like the way I spell, because I spell
Oh,
my
wow.
last name Vaughan, which is
Right.
not that common here. Usually they
Right.
drop the A.
Right, right.
They were a lot of them were there,
Wow.
and then there were some with the other name that was predominant was Hackett, which is my sister-in-law's married
Oh,
name.
wow.
So it was like the Vaughn and Hackett Cemetery, and I go, this
Wow.
is kind of creepy now. I'm like,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
they're beautiful, beautiful tombs
Yeah.
and very old. And again, like there's some sad stories, you
Yeah.
know, like very
it's-
little
yeah.
babies.
I know.
A lot of Navy people were up there too, and we
Right.
are a big Navy family. So I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
one. And then the one in Boston, I just love with
Oh, okay.
Mother Goose. you
Yeah.
know, who was there.
Yeah.
The old granary one is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we like
Greenwood Cemetery is a great cemetery
Which
in
one is it
Brooklyn.
called?
Greenwood.
Oh, okay.
And you should go there. It was really designed as a park. It was supposed to be like a recreational place for New Yorkers to go in the cemetery, and people would go there and picnic.
Yes.
And now every year around Halloween they have mausoleum parties there where it's all lit up by candlelight.
That's kind of cool.
And I always say, oh, I want to go. One of these years, I really want to go. And Trinity Cemetery in Manhattan, and the old Trinity.
She knows her cemetery.
I
See,
love
I haven't heard-
cemeteries.
yeah.
I really do. And Trinity Church on Wall Street down there. It's I think it's the oldest church in Manhattan.
Oh wow.
When
You
you
know,
were
it's,
in London, did you go into Westminster?
Yeah, Westminster
and
Abbey.
you walked
We
on?
did.
Yeah.
We spent hours looking for
Right.
Charles Dickens.
Did you find them?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did, and we
Yeah.
found it. And I sent you the picture of
Oh,
Lewis
that's-
Carroll.
Lewis Carroll. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the first time I went there, I went by myself, and I had a guy that you know the guy
Yes.
that went along with me. Anyway, he was laughing because I refused to walk on.
Yeah,
it.
you could just-
He
yeah.
goes, "You're the only person I've seen that avoids walking on."
It's
I said,
almost unavoidable though.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
it's all over the
exactly.
place.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, really. But I do have a what was I going to say?
Your favorite?
No, a non sequitur in a way. But you know, when you watch a movie and then somebody dies, okay, and then somebody goes to the cemetery. It's like 2 days later, and the tombstone is there.
Yeah,
It's
I
already
love
there,
that.
and I'm like, come on, you wouldn't have it
Yeah.
up that soon. You
Yeah.
know, you just wouldn't. And that's one thing that always bothers me. I'm like,
Well,
no, it wouldn't be up yet.
a little morbid. Do you all want to end up in a cemetery?
I do not want to be buried because I'm very claustrophobic, so don't put me in a
Oh,
box.
okay.
But
you like
I
cemeteries.
love cemeteries, and I always think I would like a marker in a cemetery, so that
Just your name.
but I don't want to be there. I want to be cremated and spread, like planted under a tree or something.
right.
But I wouldn't mind being remembered. So.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
nice.
you're gonna be remembered for sure.
Oh, you'll be
I want to be
remembered.
cremated as well.
You do.
Yeah.
To no
Yeah.
cemetery. Yeah, I'm going to be cremated too. But
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm just not like you. I don't want to be in a box. I'm claustrophobic
Yeah.
too.
You know, one thing my father did when he made it very clear when he and my mom passed away that he did not want the marker to be up out of the ground because he wanted it to be easier for the people taking care of the grounds to get around to mowing it. That was his thinking. I thought that was so
That's
sweet.
that is
Yeah.
a very thoughtful
Yeah, he was always
person.
very thoughtful. But so that's pretty cool.
That
So
was a good
buried-
one, yeah.
Buried Long Island.
Buried Long Island, History Set in Stone by Alyssa Gutierrez.
That was a good one. I
Gutierrez.
enjoyed that. That was
So, yeah. So many great cemeteries on Long Island. You and I went to the one in Appoquog once
Oh,
when
yes.
we were out there.
Yeah.
And in Oyster Bay, there's a great one, the Young's family, their family cemetery.
Well, I mean, even
and
the
they have
Teddy
their
Roosevelt
slaves.
ones, too, yeah.
Their slaves are buried there, but
Yeah.
they were only marked with a white cross, and that
Yeah.
was well afterwards. And even out here, they mentioned that, like the slaves were buried,
but no
but
marker.
there were no markers.
But now
So-
Peggy is also going to
I'm
do
going
the
to
topic.
do this the
Yeah,
topic.
she's stealing my
We're
thunder.
switching it up because
And she's going to explain why.
I will explain why, because tonight is the last night of Hanukkah, and I wanted to do a topic
Yes.
about Hanukkah.
Yes.
So I am.
None of us are Jewish.
None of us are Jewish, and I know a little bit about Hanukkah, having
Right.
grown up in New York, you know.
Right.
But, I said, I don't know a lot about the history of Hanukkah. I was always kind of like under the impression from people saying, oh, I'm going to get drunk. That Hanukkah was
And
kind of
what's wrong with
like a made-up holiday
Oh gosh, no, really?
because...
Wait, what?
Yeah, I've already heard that. It's not a real holiday. It's not a religious holiday for Jewish people.
Right.
Like, people don't not go to work or anything.
Right, right.
So it kind of made me think,
Right.
it wasn't really that serious of a holiday, but it has a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually, the beginning of the history of it began in the year 200 BC. And that was when,
I didn't know they had a light.
that was when Judea, which is today's Israel, it came under the control of Antiochus. the third. He was the king of Syria, and they came in there and they took over. And he wasn't so bad. Like, he let the Jews practice their religion. But when he died, his son took over, and he was brutal. And he made the Jews worship Greek gods, and they desecrated their temple. It was called the Second Temple. And they would slaughter pigs in there, and they put up statues of Zeus. And like, the Jews were they were really like slaves.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to practice their own religion. So the Maccabees were like the heroes of the day. And after the first Maccabee, he let's see, his son was Solomon. Thank you. It is very dark, and I wrote in pencil. It was a big mistake. Okay, so in 168 BC, his soldiers descended upon Jerusalem, and they massacred thousands of people and desecrated the city's holy Second Temple by erecting an altar to Zeus and sacrificing pigs within its sacred walls. That was Antiochus.
Okay.
So a rebellion broke out, and it was led by a Jewish priest, Mattathias, and his 5 sons. When Mattathias, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Okay.
Mattathias.
I think so, but I could be wrong.
I believe you. You're a Bible lady. Died. His son.
A necklace.
Bible lady. His son Judah Maccabee took over. In 2 years, he and his followers drove the Syrians out of Jerusalem, and they used guerrilla warfare tactics, by the way. Judah had his followers clean the Second Temple, rebuild the altar, and light the menorah.
Right.
So they witnessed what they believed was a miracle, because even though there was only enough untainted oil to keep the candles burning for a single day, the flames continued flickering for 8 nights, leaving them time to find a fresh supply. This inspired the sages to proclaim a yearly 8-day festival. It wasn't Hanukkah then, it was just like this festival that they did it. So Hanukkah became more prominent in medieval Europe because the Jews and the Christians were living in the same places, you know, and seeing the Christians celebrate Christmas with a lot of pageantry.
Yes.
Then the Jews and their symbols, the Jews sought to exalt their symbols during the same time of year.
What time of history was this about?
This was medieval times.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The celebration revolves around the kindling of a 9-branch menorah. We are all familiar with that. On each night for 8 days, another candle is added to it. Like I always see, because we always see it with the light bulbs,
Right.
but not with the candles.
Well, yeah.
So they add the candles to the menorah after sundown. And the 9th candle is called the shamash. That's the big one in the middle. And shamash means helper in Hebrew. And it's used to light the others. And people generally, they recite blessings and say prayers during the ritual of lighting up the menorah. So traditional Hanukkah foods are fried in oil because of the whole history of the oil. So latkes and fried jelly donuts, which I didn't know about. Carol did. Didn't you say you knew about it?
You're going to share the interview.
I'm going to share, I had interviewed 2 of my Jewish friends, not interviewed. I just asked them, I had my camera, my phone camera, and they both work in a bookstore in town. And I said, hey, tell me something I might not know about Hanukkah. So it's very short.
That's cute.
So
Very
Tracy,
nice.
so we're going to put it as part of our podcast. So it was Tracy and Becky, and they both each told me, and Tracy's the one who brought up the jelly donuts.
Right.
And I said, I love jelly
Me
donuts.
too. I love them.
Okay, so I also, on the way here, I wanted to pick up a dreidel, because I never played with a dreidel. And a dreidel, I found out by doing this research, I never realized that the symbols on it, it's a gambling game.
Yes.
So now people use the chocolate guilt, you know. And on each side of the dreidel, there's a symbol. So what you do is kind of like poker, like you have a pot, and then everybody has their gelt. And you spin the dreidel, and if it lands on one side, it might mean, oh, you get to take all the gelt out of the pot. Another part would say you get to take half of the gelt. Then there's another part that said you have to put your gelt in it. And the fourth one I don't remember. But the European Jews adapted these games from similar ones in Germany. So that all started in Europe. It appeared in writings in the 18th century.
Wow.
So, and then the 4 sides of the dreidel I have written here.
Have you ever played dreidel?
No, that's why I wanted to buy one.
You play it.
Yes.
You know, I was looking to get one on it the other day. And I said, nobody has a dreidel. What the hell? I would have to order it, but I wouldn't have gotten it in time. So last night I was talking to my sister Maureen, and my niece was there, and they said, well, go to a party store. I said, there's a party store right down the block from me. I never even thought of it, and I was going to stop and get one. Yeah. So the 4 sides of a dreidel are each marked with a different letter, which in German are G for ganz, all, H for halb, half, N for nichts, nothing, and S for Stück, put, and dictates whether the person who spun the top should take all, half, or none of the coins in the collective pot or put their own in. So, and Yiddish is very closely related to German, so those letters serve as instructions for the game. So, and one of the earliest mentions of giving people gelt, the Yiddish word for money, during Hanukkah came in the 16th century and referred to the Italian and Sephardic tradition of collecting money to buy or make clothing for poor pupils in the local schools. And by the 19th century, Jews in Eastern Europe started giving coins directly to children in their family as Hanukkah gifts. And there was something else. Oh, this was interesting because I grew up in Brooklyn, and when I was a kid, Lofts was a big candy company. They had these chocolate shops, and their candies were delicious, and we used to buy them from my mom for her birthday or Mother's Day. They were called parlays, and you can only get them in Lofts Candy, and she loved them. So in the 1920s, American confectioners like New York-based Lofts Candies began producing Hanukkah gelt made of chocolate and wrapped in gold foil, which has remained its primary form since. The chocolate coins often have Jewish symbols from the Maccabees and the ancient temple impressed upon them. So, and then I was reading about Hanukkah songs, and they said, like, there are a lot of Hanukkah songs, we just don't hear a lot of them.
Just don't know
You know, I know the ones that my kids used to sing, at the holiday concerts in public schools, like that Hi Ho to Hanukkah, and the one about the dreidel. So, and then I was reading it, and I actually talked to Carol about this, that I'm a big fan of Peter, Paul, and Mary. I grew up loving their music. And they did a Hanukkah song, Light One Candle.
I have it on the CD.
So, and I probably have it on one of my CDs, but I never connected
do you
it.
have the Christmas CD?
No, I don't have a Christmas one, And so anyway, so I listened to it on YouTube. I said, I have to listen to it.
In your research, did you come across about the significance of the date when it falls on the calendar? Because Hanukkah changes every year.
Yes, I did, and that's probably
why.
Let's see. It says here. Let's see. The second where according to legend, Jews have risen up. We have that, which means Hanukkah means dedication. I forgot to mention that in Hebrew. It begins on the 25th of Kislev on the Hebrew calendar, and usually falls in November or December. And then it said Hanukkah, like it started this year on December 7th, and tonight is the last night of Hanukkah. And of course, we all know it's often called the Festival of Lights. And it's, So
Very
that's
cool.
that's
That
my
was very
Hanukkah
good.
studies.
Well, I think
But-
it's important that we acknowledge that with the
It's-
anti-Semitism that's going
Yeah.
on
I
in,
know.
Have a little more understanding of
exactly.
everybody's traditions.
I know.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I know.
Tradition.
That's
yeah.
right.
And today is the last of the 8 crazy nights.
That's
I
it.
just
Oh
love
my
that
God.
song. No, but it's not to be disrespectful. That song is really. I
That
do
song,
love that song.
I love that song.
Oh.
It's funny, and
It is fun- and-
everybody can relate to it, whether you're Jewish or
And
not.
you know, but it brings an awareness. That song does it. It
Yes.
educates everybody about the people that you know in mainstream
Uh-huh,
media
I know.
who are Jewish.
That's right,
For
yeah.
example, I did not know that Henry Winkler
Oh.
was Jewish,
Oh,
and I
okay.
grew up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he was like my first crush.
Sure,
You know,
happy
that-
days.
There wasn't like Mickey Mouse. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you
Was
know.
Mickey Mouse Jewish too?
No.
The Fonz.
Fonz. Oh.
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, I didn't
was.
like
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
Mouse. No, so I was like, oh, I didn't know that Henry Winkler
Yeah.
was
No, I
Jewish. You know,
knew that.
but
Yeah.
so that's the song. I think you make light of it, but I think it did a lot to bring.
Yeah, it
awareness
did.
That it is a large part of our
Yeah.
culture.
And it's a
Was-
funny, joyous song
It is.
for the holiday. I mean, it makes
love
me
Adam
laugh.
Sandler.
And
He's awesome.
you know who else?
So
I
talented.
grew up listening to. What the frick was his name? Alan Sherman.
I knew you were gonna say hello, mother.
Oh,
Alan
Hello,
Sherman,
Father.
Camp Granada,
Yeah.
and he had an album too.
Yeah.
My Zelda,
Oh,
remember
yeah.
My Zelda? And I don't know. I think artists,
any-
musicians, they help us all connect with each other.
Yeah, that's
and,
a really good point.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been to a traditional
Mhm.
like Hanukkah?
Oh,
meal
not
or
Hanukkah, no. I went
religious?
to a young girl's bat mitzvah.
You did?
Yeah, I went to
Okay.
that, and her bat mitzvah party was like a wedding.
And
Well, it's like communions are now. You
Right.
go. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
they
yeah.
spend more money than most
Yeah.
people spent on their weddings like 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
So what did
Yeah.
you think? Did you
Yeah.
enjoy the topic? Because we are always surprising even ourselves.
Oh, yeah, we're
the
having a good
topic-
time.
The topic
Yeah.
of the
And
cancer.
you know
especially
what?
with good wine like this.
that's right. That's right. And we like to educate ourselves
Yeah.
too.
Oh, definitely.
Like it makes us. Having this podcast. I know we don't have a vast audience, but we have a lot of
Yes.
fun doing it. And I also find that I find out I have to research things that I don't know much
Right,
about. Like for instance, Hanukkah or
you
Benjamin
made a-
Franklin.
You
or,
made a very good point that we're not here to preach to you or
Yeah.
to teach
No.
you. We're learning.
We're
That's
learning.
right.
We're curious.
Yeah,
which
we're
that's
curious.
right.
it's important, and that's one of the biggest factors for staying young. Is
Yes.
if do you learn? Do you
Yep.
to keep your mind engaged?
Right.
And
So we'd love
trying
to,
to do
again,
that.
I know I've said it before, but please subscribe to us and
Yes.
give us your thoughts.
absolutely.
Tell us how you're doing.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
Yes,
to us.
thank
Happy
you.
Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Pick up this wine. It's really good.
It's
it's
not,
really good.
It's not Manischewitz, but it's
It's no Pindar. That's for
Right.
sure. Oh